Hey everyone, welcome to Learn DAX channel. My name is Sidesh, and in my previous video, we had calculated the sales amount for the year 2020 and for the year 2021. Now, 2021 is the latest year in our data set, and 2020 is the latest year minus one. However, we had hard coded the values wherein we had placed 2020 and 2021 as explicit filters in the measures that we had used. However, we could come across a scenario where the data set runs from 2020 to 2025, in which case the latest year would be 2025 and the measure that we are using would not accommodate the same. So what if I want to use a DAX that will calculate the latest year and then give me the sales amount for the latest year, and something that could help me get the value for the latest year minus one, which in case of 2025 would be 2024. So we are going to try something in this video which will give us the latest year as something that DAX gives us explicitly, as opposed to us feeding it as value in this case as 2021. So without further ado, let's get started and create those two measures very quickly. So I'll quickly create this new measure. I will call it sales amount latest year will be. So I'm going to use the max x function, and I will use the max. Okay, first I have to define the variable. I'll call it latest year. So I will use the max x function so that I can get the maximum value for the year in the date table. So the first argument is the date table, and the second would be date year. That would be the column. And I just want to return this value for now. I don't want to calculate the latest sales. I just want this value so that I can verify if it's pulling out 2021 as the latest year. So yeah, it is giving us the correct year. Now all I'm going to do is I will return calculate sales amount, and this will be, I have to mention the year. In this case will be my latest year. And if I close this and I change this, so we can verify. See, in my previous video, I calculated the sales amount for 2021 as 959 million, which is exactly what we are getting here. So that solves the first part, which is how do you calculate the sales amount for the latest year using DAX. Now the second thing is I want to calculate the sales amount for latest year minus one. So I will again create a new measure, sales amount last year. I'll call it last year instead of latest year minus one. Will be, now again I'll create a variable last year is equal to, it will be max of my max x actually from the date table, date comma year, minus 1. Let's see what happens if we enter minus 1. Let's return this value for now. I'll make some space for this. Last year, and this is giving me 2020. So yeah, that calculation is correct. So now I want to return calculate sales amount, and that will be date year will be last year, and that gives us 242 million. So this is exactly what we saw in the previous video, where 2020 sales were 242 million and 2021 sales were 959 million, and we are getting sales amount last year as 242 million, sales amount latest year as 959 million. So we can extend this logic further to calculate the latest sales month and the previous sales month. And we can also do something that would allow us, instead of the last year, what if I give the user the flexibility to select a value which can go as much as 2 months, 3 months, 4 months in the same measure. So how are we going to do that? We'll see that in the next video. And until then, thanks for watching and happy learning.